listening to the Terra Nova podcast, a podcast discussing the Fox television show Terra Nova. This is Season 1, Episode 3, The Webisodes.
The eyes of the world are on Hope Plaza today, as the 10th pilgrimage prepares to depart for Terra Nova, bringing the total number of colonists to over 1,000.
Give me security.
Whatever happens, keep moving.
Sir, I need you to step out of line.
If we go in there, we can't come back.
We will be right behind you.
I won't go without Dad.
Go with your brother.
He's dead.
We'll find a way.
Citizens of 2149, together, we are at the dawn of a new civilization. Welcome to Terra Nova, folks. Welcome home.
How you doing, Jordan?
Pretty good. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. This is our third show.
Yes, it is. Number 3.
Number 3. A lot of stuff happening. People are listening to the show from a lot of different places all over the world. We're getting some good response. We have a new crew member. Her name is TC. She's a teacher from New Jersey. She's going to be doing science reports and reading essays and all kinds of different things, making segments up that we can play on the show. So I'd like to welcome TC to the podcast. You can find her bio on our website on About Us. We have, for this show, we have a great report on the Cretaceous period and different dinosaurs and things she put together, and can't wait to hear it. All right. As we're recording this, we're about a month away from the premiere of Terra Nova, and I couldn't be more excited. Are you getting amped up yourself, Jordan?
Oh, yeah, you know it.
Whoa. All right. We got a new partnership I'd like to talk about with TerraNovaTV.net. They're hosting our forums now, so we got a fully functional forum that you can go there, leave comments, talk with other listeners of the Terra Nova podcast about our podcast and about everything else Terra Nova. They also have all kinds of other forums that talk about a lot of stuff to do with Terra Nova, so you can get there through a link on our page. That'll take you to TerraNovaTV.net, the forum section. Also, you can just go there yourself. It's TerraNovaTV.net. We'd like to thank them for hosting our forum. It's really nice of them. All right, today's show is going to be a little bit different because what we're doing is we're going step by step through the little mini webisodes that they have on Fox.com. Every day they put out a picture or they put out a video, and it just gives you a little bit more insight, a couple more clues into Terra Nova. It's getting people excited for the TV show, premiering pretty soon, in about a month. All right, so we're going to look at them one by one, go through, and talk about them. You ready for that, Jordan?
I'm ready.
All right, you got your computer open to that page?
I'm in the chat room now.
Okay, cool. Novaist. Kind of like a novist, but a novaist.
I like it.
Yeah.
Whenever you're watching the Terra Nova show, definitely come into the chat room if you can. Chat with us.
Yeah, we'll be here. At least one of us, anyway.
What does that mean?
Well, if I'm busy, you'll be there. If you're busy, I'll be there. Hopefully, both of us will be there.
Yeah, the ultimate show.
Yeah.
33 days, by the way.
33 days. 33 days, 3 hours, 15 minutes, 21 seconds. More with that math that people aren't going to do.
Mine says 3 hours, 16 days, and 20 seconds. I'm sorry. 33 days, 3 hours, 16 minutes, and 16 seconds.
The section.
Our first day that they put something up. It's a flyer. It says, Terra Nova needs doctors. No knowledge of prehistoric diseases necessary. So that's a pretty good way to start it, I guess. They need doctors. That makes sense. They want us to survive as a species, right? So doctors are important for staying alive and, helping with birth and stuff like that. So pretty simple one, right?
Yeah, I know. I love your explanation of doctors. They help us stay alive and junk.
Yeah. So, I mean, if everybody was doctors, then anybody got hurt, they could just help each other. All right. Day 2, we had an evaluation of Elizabeth Shannon. We'll play that for you now.
Overwhelmed, lucky, honored. I mean, so few people are selected for recruitment to Terra Nova. I'm amazed we're getting this opportunity.
Assuming you and your family are cleared, would you accept the recruitment offer?
Well, you know, about 3 months ago, Maddie came home and she was coughing up blood. She had to be hospitalized. I was so scared. It turns out her rebreather hadn't been filtering properly for God knows how long. And you know that thing they say about frogs? How if you put them in a frying pan and turn up the heat slowly enough, they'll just stay there until they die. Well, that was me. Yeah. I hadn't realized how bad things had gotten until I was sitting by my daughter's bedside, watching a machine breathe for her. So would I accept the offer? Well, how could I not?
You'd have no reservations about leaving.
Well, of course. Yeah, who wouldn't? I mean, it's a world where there is a chance you could get eaten by a dinosaur. But, you know, at least in Terra Nova, we'll have a fighting chance.
Interesting. I like the last couple of sentences. You know, you might get eaten by a dinosaur, but it seems like the better option.
Yeah, to me, she seems done with 2149. She's had it. Her kids are. She doesn't want them to die from everything that's out there trying to kill them. She'd rather take her chances with dinosaurs. So that tells you a little bit about the time they're living in. You know, it's got to be pretty bad if you'd rather go back in time and deal with dinosaurs, right?
Yeah, dinosaurs are your best options. You know, you don't have very good options.
No, it's painting a pretty bleak image of the time they live in, our future, 2149. Yeah, so that's Elizabeth Shannon. She's the wife of Jim Shannon, mother of Maddie and Josh Shannon. So she plays the mother. She seems kind of young to play a mother, huh? But especially of the children. The next video is the day 3. It's Maddie Shannon's evaluation.
It's the most amazing thing that's ever happened. I mean, time travel, dinosaurs. You know, in Terra Nova you can actually breathe air all the time. That's insane for me because I was born in 2133. I mean, rebreathers have been made mandatory my whole life. I literally cannot imagine a time without them.
No reservations about going to Terra Nova.
Well, yeah, obviously. I mean, it's not an ideal situation, but, no, I think it'll work out for the best.
She seems a lot chipper than the mother. She's definitely excited about it. She's happy for the change.
Yeah, she seems to me like very gung-ho, very happy to be going, liking its adventure. To me, she seems like she's listening to like all the advertisements they have about going to Terra Nova and how great it's going to be, how much of an adventure it's going to be. She doesn't seem like she's focusing too much on the negative that might come from it, or the hard struggle of starting civilization over again. It's like she's going to like a summer vacation or something. That's what it seems to me. She's very cute, huh?
Yeah, definitely. I was going to say, too, seems like good casting. I mean, I kind of believe them as a mother-daughter pair. They kind of look alike, and they're both very cute.
I can see that, yeah. All right, the 4th day, we have a poster. It says, "Be a part of the most exciting adventure mankind has ever embarked on, Terra Nova." So it's kind of an ad for people to go to Terra Nova. I'm guessing they want people to go to Terra Nova, so to save the species and all. Simple advertisement. Do you see anything else in there, maybe? There's some pterodactyls, it looks like.
Yeah, it looks like you got some dinosaurs on the poster. And it kind of seems like an ad for like a beach resort. Like it's definitely it's enticing.
Yeah, kind of like a vacation poster. Like, ooh, I want to go there. I like that observation.
When we go on next day, a family is 4. Report violators to population control. 1989 Hero. Well, that's actually a little disturbing. I'm guessing, this is something I don't know, maybe I didn't listen to in the panel, but I guess overpopulation is a big problem, and if you have more than 4 people in your family, I guess we're going to Logan run and kill you? What's going on?
Yeah, you get reported to the police. I don't know what they do. I don't know if they kill the new child. I don't know if they take it away from you. I don't know if that would do any good for like population control because that person would still exist. Or is it just to instill fear in people maybe so they don't have more than 2 children? I don't know. And I did call that phone number. It's not enough numbers for our current day telephone system, so nothing happened, just a crazy tone that said, this number cannot be reached. It's not like other TV show stuff where they buy that phone number and then you call it up, like on 24, they'd have phone numbers all the time, or Heroes, and you call them up and they'd be like fake answer machines for different characters or something. But at least I tried. Alright, next we have a video. It's day 6. It's Jim Shannon, his evaluation. Now, during this evaluation, it looks as though he's in some kind of prison cell. And he's being evaluated by some doctor, but he's in a prison cell. So as you listen to this, picture Jim Shannon in a prison cell.
Futuristic prison cell.
I can't sit here in fake contrition. Population control officers are vultures. I'm not sorry for what I did.
They're just enforcing the law. As a cop, I'd think you'd appreciate that.
It's an unjust law that hasn't done one bit of good. Population hasn't gone down because a family is 4. Went down because people can't bear the idea of bringing kids into this world.
Until you show some remorse, I can't recommend visitation. Guard?
No. Wait. Let me see my family. You have to let me see my family.
We're getting deeper and darker as we go along.
Yeah. So this is saying Jim Shannon's imprisoned, at least. It says on the top of the video, "Go Lad." I don't know what that means or what that could refer to. But it's a psychiatric evaluation of Jim Shannon. So he starts out the series in trouble. You know, he's probably broken a law. I'm thinking it might have something to do with the overpopulation law, since they're stressing that is the only real law that we know about so far. Shows a little bit of the acting chops of Jason O'Mara. He's definitely got a unique character down. To me, it's intriguing. You see anything else in that video?
No, I mean, I don't know if it necessarily has to do with the overpopulation law. I mean, there's a lot of, more mysteriousness to it, but, like you said, it shows off Jason O'Mara, and it's definitely an enticing video. It's not really going to get you,
like you want to see
interested as to what's going on.
All right, let's see. Our next day, 7, we have looks like a news release, maybe. It's dated July 27th, 2149. The headline is, "Protesters Flood the Streets of Boston." And then it goes on to say, "Hundreds took to the street today to protest the government crackdown of population control. The event was organized by A Family is Love, a group dedicated to the repeal of all population control laws. Despite the outpouring, a government spokesperson declined to meet with any of the group's leadership."
So there is definitely a lot of controversy and problems going on in this future. And evidently the government doesn't give a shit.
To me, what I'm getting is like protesters and demonstrations, and people are either one side of the issue or the other. It seems like the big topic of the day where people have strong opinions either way, and they try to change each other's mind either way, and there's no change in people's mind and stuff like that. So maybe a certain segment of the population wants to have as many kids as possible. Another segment of the population realizes that overpopulation is just killing the planet and killing the human race, so they're trying to, battle back and forth as to which is the right move. Me, I don't have an opinion on it, I think. Do you have any opinion on overpopulation?
No, I don't have an opinion on this fake law. I think once we see more, I think it's could spark a debate.
Yeah.
But right now, I'm waiting to see more.
All right. Next video is day 8. It's a newscast from the future, which could be helpful to people. It's about population protests. So here we go.
Hundreds took to the streets of Boston today to protest the government crackdown on population control. The event was organized by A Family is Love, a group dedicated to the repeal of all population control laws. Despite the outpouring, government spokespeople declined to meet with any of the group's leadership.
So it's basically telling us what we learned in the last thing, but just on video.
Just on video, yeah. Pretty much the same exact thing. It's just we get a news reporter telling us how this goes. It's kind of like the real news. They report on it a day after it happens, most of the time. Yeah, same thing. Family is love. They mentioned that. That's a cool little sign they're holding up. Probably, I'm thinking the Family is 4 is important in the first show, but once they go back 85 million years, they're going to want to start reproducing, right? So that law goes out the window, I'm thinking. All right, the next, it's a poster, and it looks like advertisement for almost an iPad, but made out of light. It says, "The universe at your fingertips, PlexPad," and the A is kind of weird.
It's basically an upside-down V, just to look kind of cool.
I got nothing on this one.
And, yeah, I guess, personally, I'm waiting for the PlexPad 2, but I heard good things about this.
That's funny.
Day 10, okay. Day 10, which is dated July 30th, 2149. New York reaches 36 million people in a milestone that few have heralded and many have feared. The teeming city has officially topped 36 million. The already crippled city infrastructure simply cannot handle these numbers. Officials are urging citizens to move to less populated areas. Terra Nova.
Again, just reiterating overpopulation. That seems to be a running theme. Now, I did some Googling of population in New York. According to the U.S. Census Bureau, the whole state of New York in July of 2009 had 19,541,453 people. So that's the whole state. And now there's almost double that in just New York City alone. So it's got to be pretty crowded, because I don't know if you've ever been to New York City, but it's pretty crowded to begin with.
Yeah. I mean, I guess people are really frisky in the future, man. There's a lot of babies being born.
Another news feed dated July 31st, 2149. Travelers on the 10th pilgrimage announced. Hope Plaza has officially released the list of 100-plus travelers who will be transitioning to Terra Nova on the next pilgrimage. The lottery announcement brings jubilation for some and depression for others. Officials urge applicants to keep trying. Hope Plaza transitions more and more people every pilgrimage. So this is the 10th pilgrimage, and I guess they're going to keep having more and more pilgrimages. Do they keep doing that until all of humanity is off the planet from the future and back into the past? Or are they only picking the best of the best? I mean, it says a lottery, which would suggest, like randomness, but they're also interviewing people and doing psychiatric evaluations, and they're picking people like doctors and military people. So I'm wondering if they're trying to weed out the undesirable people from starting this new civilization or not. Or you think it's truly random?
No, I'm not sure. I mean, like you said, they're doing a lottery, but you gotta think they gotta at least, read into who they're sending.
Yeah, that's true. I guess they can send back, like people that are gonna, just go around and kill people or try to mess with the timeline on purpose or whatever, or the parallel timeline. One thing I noticed: everybody they pick to go back is pretty good looking. You notice that? Yeah, they're trying to make the new human race, really good-looking. You think that's on purpose, or you think it's just because casting directors pick the best-looking actors?
I think it's probably both. I think it starts off because, casting directors always pick the good-looking ones, but maybe the show was smart enough to kind of throw that in, because, that's what you always got to do. You're never going to see, ugly people. Unless they're, the quirky best friends. Which makes me afraid for the future. I don't know if I get picked.
They're going to leave both me and you behind, I think.
Yeah, we're going to be stuck in the overpopulated New York.
But if everybody else goes, then it won't be overpopulated. Problem solved.
Yeah, there you go. And New York will end up being better than dinosaurs.
Yeah, a dinosaur won't mug you, though.
I don't know, man. These dinosaurs are pretty smart.
They might be. All right, day 12, they released another news report. Lady in a red dress. Let's play that now.
Hope Plaza has just released the official list of travelers on the 10th pilgrimage. As always, the lottery announcement brings joy to some and disappointment to others. Officials at Hope Plaza urge applicants to keep trying. More and more applicants are selected every pilgrimage.
The 10th pilgrimage.
10th pilgrimage. So what if you weren't picked to go back in time and you really wanted to? I don't know, I'd feel kind of like I wasn't good enough for some reason or something, and then of course, you know, the planet's not doing so good, so I'm worried about, am I going to make it? Am I going to survive here? Everybody else is fleeing. I'm left here, kind of like being left on a sinking ship almost, you know?
Yeah, I you know, like you said, I feel very lost and wouldn't know what to do. You know, you're not being saved, you're basically being left to, I don't know, die or be, you know, to a world that's not very well lived.
Yeah, just being left to fend for yourself, and sorry you weren't good enough to come back in time with us. It's got to be depressing. It makes you wonder if people are going to try other ways of getting back in time, even if they're not picked. Next up is day 13, they released an evaluation video of Josh Shannon. This is his first evaluation video that they put up there.
I'm going to Terra Nova because my mom got recruited. Apparently they go through doctors pretty fast there, and no one seems to realize that's a bad sign.
How do you feel about going?
That's a great chance to be a part of humanity's rebirth. Why do we have to do these interviews?
We need to evaluate your psychological well-being leading up to the pilgrimage.
What, so you can weed out the psychos who want to blow up the portal? All right, I promise I won't commit an act of terrorism. Now can I go?
Alright, so it seems that the son definitely has a different attitude towards all of this than the daughter. She was chipper and excited, like you said, summer vacation. He's viewing it almost as a punishment. He's not very excited. It seems he's kind of bitter mode at his mom, too, and definitely not in a chipper mood.
Yeah, kind of sarcastic and rebellious, maybe. But if somebody told me I had to go back in time with dinosaurs and had no choice about it, I might be a little bit upset, you know. I'd at least want a choice.
It's how everyone always views something different.
Yeah, so a different take on everything. And, you know, as you're growing up, you have different... you go through different phases where either everything's great or everything sucks, and he might be in one of those. Or he might have just grew up in a future that everything did suck, so, you know, probably give you a little negative outlook.
You never know about backstory, too. He could be leaving behind someone he loves.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. Didn't think of that. He mentioned blowing up the wormhole and terrorists. So are there maybe terrorists that want to try to stop this wormhole from staying open and people traveling back in time? Some kind of wormhole terrorists? Is that a possibility?
Yeah, definitely. It is a good point, Dan. I mean, if you think about it, you know, even in the future, I'm sure there will be some form of terrorist. So I think it's them kind of staying true and current and saying that, you know, even in this timeline, that's something they still have to fear. You know, I don't know if it'll be a big part of the show, but it definitely could play a part.
All right, you want to do the next one?
Sure. What we got going here? Ooh. The Rebreather 7000. Don't trust your child's life to anything less. And you see kind of a creepy white face with a kind of a futuristic gas mask, if you will, over it. And I guess that's going back to what the daughter was talking about before, about how, you know, they get to breathe in fresh air for the first time in a long time. So there must be, you know, obviously something in the air that's not very good.
Yeah, pollution. I'm thinking probably. It says it lasts 3 times longer, extra lasting, 24 months long, so you can wear the same one for 2 years. Probably gets pretty rank if somebody has bad breath after you're wearing it over your face for 2 years. Looks pretty cool. Now, those red dots in the air, is that what they're trying to not breathe in, or is that blood? What is that?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's kind of a creepy image. I think it's just a generic kind of like, probably population. I don't think it's blood. I mean, although it does kind of allude to that. I don't know, definitely an image. I think you gotta see, definitely check out the Terra Nova website. Day 15, August 4th, 2149. North America, uninhabitable by 2182. In a stunning reversal of conventional wisdom, MIT scientists have released new predictions that North America will no longer be able to sustain human life for the year 2182. Many have decreed these estimates, but few can argue with the stark evidence around us. So definitely a crisis that they're getting to the point where it's going to be uninhabitable pretty soon, in only about another 20 years.
Yeah, from 2149 to 2182. So, yeah, under 40 years. Should I do the math? 2182 minus 2149 equals 33, yep.
Yeah, that's my favorite number.
33 years in the future from when they're traveling back in time, North America will be uninhabitable. Now, the trend we noticed where the newscast follows the news announcement, maybe we'll talk about it a little more after the newscast, because I got a feeling that this is about most. All right, so you want to play that one?
Here we go.
In a stunning reversal of conventional wisdom, MIT scientists have released new predictions that North America will no longer be able to sustain human life by the year 2182. Many have decried these estimates, but few can argue with the stark evidence around us. Government officials urge caution, saying that steps are already in place to evacuate people out of the most vulnerable regions.
Alright, so she just kind of reread what I said, so I think she's kind of a copy or something. But, and it was decried, not decreed. Alright, good to know. And, no, but, a little couple more sentences too at the end there, saying how they're getting the worst areas first. Just kind of a reiteration of what we went over.
Now we go to another news announcement. Looks like this is day 17. It's a news announcement dated August 6, 2149. UK officials announce Tent City project. In an effort to curb the country's staggering homeless problem, the UK has broken ground on a massive tent city that will have beds for an estimated 800,000 people. And in the background, there's kind of like a field with a bunch of tents. And these are like camping tents. So, not a great place to live, especially if there's 800,000 people as your neighbors in these tents. Why do you think there's such a big homeless problem in UK? Is it overpopulation, you think? Or is there something wrong with the buildings or some kind of strange laws? What could that be?
Ah, bloody hell. No, I don't know. I don't know what would cause them. You know, I mean, it seems like kind of everyone's in kind of the shithole, you know, New York, UK. So this might just be seems like a global, you know, epidemic.
Yeah, just like overpopulation and too many people and not enough land to sustain everybody, not enough buildings. It might be just an overpopulation thing. There might be so many people in every building and housing thing that there's too many people for the amount of homes they have, right? Could be that simple.
Yeah.
18.
Hope Plaza is now accepting lottery applications for the 11th pilgrimage. Up to number 11 now.
Number 11. Again, more evidence that more people are going to come after the 10th pilgrimage, which is, I think, where the people we're going to follow on the TV show are coming from, the 10th pilgrimage. So more people can after. So who knows how long more people will come? Have to see. Eventually, won't the Earth be overpopulated 85 million years ago?
No, I suppose so.
Anywho, this looks like Elizabeth Shannon again.
Good, yeah, we've started wrapping things up and selling what we can't take with us. There's lots of consolidating, but that's going well. We're all very excited.
Even your kids?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, no, Maddie and Josh are thrilled. It's adorable, really. Maddie's already memorized every dinosaur from the Cretaceous, and Josh is really excited as well.
No anxiety about leaving their friends behind?
Well, Maddie's not really the most social kid anyway. I mean, I think Terra Nova will be very good for her, actually. Force her out of her head a little bit.
And Josh?
Josh is a little bit angry right now. He'll come round.
How do you feel about leaving Jim?
prefer not to talk about my husband, if that's okay.
Interesting. So, more prelude, too, about how they had to leave family and friends behind. So, I'm thinking maybe, that might be one of the reasons she admits that the son is mad at the end of the video. And also doesn't want to talk about Jim.
Yeah, she just doesn't want to talk about him, so I don't know if they're separated or she's mad at him for whatever he did to be incarcerated, maybe. I know he's an ex-cop, so she got with a cop and ended up with somebody in jail, so it'll be interesting to see how that all got to where it is. And then she mentioned that Josh is angry, which is what we talked about earlier, so we were right on that one. Day 20, you want to read that poster?
It's not just responsible. It's the law. A family is 4.
It's kind of a cool little symbol they got on there.
Yeah, 4 little bodies and a little ring around it.
I guess the ring around it would be the family and 4 people in it. It makes sense. 2 really short parents and 2 really tall kids, or just normal parents. And
No, I like this theory. I think it's...
It's not just responsible, it's the law. A family is 4. So again, reiterating overpopulation and laws about overpopulation. I wonder how long they've had those laws in effect, and if it's something like, even though they want people to populate the earth when they go back in time, if people are still going to shy away from having more than 2 kids just because they grew up with it being against the law. Most like people that grew up during Prohibition and alcohol was against the law. As soon as it became legal, did they start, drinking alcohol? I don't know. I wasn't around back then, but I could see how some people could be not willing to have more than 2 kids because it almost seems like the right etiquette. I might be reading too much into this. Probably am. Looks like we got another video. We're going to play the audio from that. It's Jim Shannon in prison again. Looks like evaluation number 2.
Look, I just want to talk to my family. What do I have to do to get visitation? Whatever you want me to say, I'll say it, all right?
I want you to tell me what you really think.
What I really think, okay. Prison is awesome. That's a great tie. And you know that family is 4 rule? Well, I couldn't agree more. Love it. Actually, I'm thinking of joining population control when I get out. Can I see my wife now?
It kind of seems like to me in this video, Jim's kind of losing it.
Yeah, almost like he's broken.
Yeah, like he just wants to see his family. I'm also thinking maybe the family doesn't even know he's there at this point.
Yeah, he might have tried to see him because he's like, I want to see him, but they won't let him see him until he agrees with what they're saying, so he's just trying to tell them what they want to hear, blowing smoke,
Yeah.
And he's talking about the family is 4 laws, so that might really be why he's in jail, is they might have had another kid.
Uh-oh.
Well, that does make sense, because there's Josh, Maddie, and then there's that little girl, right? Weren't they talking about a 3rd kid?
There's another kid? What are you talking about?
How many kids do they have, the Shannon family?
The girl and the boy.
Yeah, he's just trying to play along, I think. But it looks like he could be broken, too.
Alright, day 22, fraud alert. Anyone found to have gotten married for the sole purpose of transitioning Terra Nova on a lottery ticket will be prosecuted. Terra Nova are not big fans of green card marriages.
No. So, problems that exist now also exist in the future, just for different reasons. You think that's what Jim Shannon did? He got married to try to get to Terra Nova? I don't think so, because they have kids already, so they were probably married. Not necessarily, but probably.
Yes, I thought so, but maybe.
It's just showing that people are desperate to get to Terra Nova, and they'll pretty much do anything to get there. So marrying somebody, I guess, would do it. Now we're at day 23. They put up evaluation of Maddie Shannon, so we'll see what she's got to say. Here we go.
Will my grades transfer?
Yes, we take care of all that.
Okay. And are there any colleges in Terra Nova? Because I know that they mainly want farmers and security, but I kind of think I would be better in some sort of lab, inside. Maybe with the heavy doors and guard outside or something.
I'm sure you'll be very safe.
Oh, no, yeah, sure, no. I'll be fine. Did I ask about my grades?
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
She asked a question I would never ask, which is, will my grades transfer? And that's kind of a different attitude from before. She was very peppy. Now she seems a little skeptical, a little more inquisitive than she was before.
Maybe the realization of the danger is actually coming to her as she's sitting talking about it.
Yeah, you do hear as she says, I know you're looking for mostly farmers and workers. She asked if she could, be a lab assistant with heavy doors and a guard.
So now she's worried about getting eaten. I guess if you're a farmer, probably got a better chance of getting eaten than if you're inside of a college or research laboratory. She wants to go. She's excited. She doesn't want to get eaten. And she's very proud of her grades, so she must be a great student. Maybe she wants to be held in higher regard than other people. She wants to be kept safe. So, that'll be something to watch. What you can't appreciate by listening to the videos on this podcast is that she's actually pretty easy on the eyes, that Maddie Shannon, don't you think?
Damn, skippy.
Alright, so don't forget to actually go to fox.com/terranova/widget to see these videos and watch them, because the actors are really good in these, and you get a lot from facial expressions and stuff. But we're doing this assuming you've already watched all that content, and we're just dissecting it a little bit. Next, we got a poster, I want to call it, a warning. Hope Plaza is currently at security level orange. Tighten security. So those security levels are still in effect in the future. I wonder if they're the same or different than the current system we have. They were supposed to stop using it. People still announce it in the airport if you ever go through the airport. It's kind of funny. Security's high, so maybe that has to do with terrorists. Or maybe just they want to make sure people don't go back through the wormhole that they don't want to. Okay, 25. Day 25, they released this, another warning poster-looking thing.
In the event of a terrorist attack, exit Hope Plaza in an orderly fashion. Soldiers will be there to facilitate your evacuation. So, when terrorists start to attack, everyone, stays calm.
So, terrorist attack is a definite threat because they're warning people against it. So, there are terrorists that want to put an end to people traveling back in time, I'm guessing. What could be the reasons for that? Do they think it's just wrong to go back and change time? Like, what's their objective? What are they really trying to stop? Is it like a religious thing or something like that? Like they think it's wrong to tinker with time, maybe? Or they think it's wrong that humanity's trying to save itself, it should come to an end? I don't understand what the reason is behind the terrorists.
No, kind of like you said, there's definitely, I'm sure there's logic to it, smart logic as well. I'm not there yet, I'm not sure. It's just got to be something to do with, the idea that, why fix the past if we can work on the, I don't know, there's got to be something. There's always a doubter for everything, whether it's good or bad.
Right, I mean, whatever their motivation is, I'm sure they believe that they're right, or else they wouldn't be doing what they're doing, so it'd be interesting to see. I wonder if that has anything to do with the Sixers. I wonder if Sixers are part of that terrorist group, or if they just have another alternate agenda. That'll be something to watch. Hopefully we get answers to that soon. Okay, next on day 26, they put out a poster. It says, Terra Nova needs soldiers. You could be on the next pilgrimage. Join the army today and tell your recruiter you want to serve in Terra Nova. It's got a little military symbol with the globe in it, as it would be 85 million years ago, the continent of Pangea, I believe it's called. Or, if you look at it another way, it might be a face like Joey Ramone.
That's what I was.
You see the face? You were thinking Joey Ramone or the face?
Joey Ramone.
Yeah, right? So maybe soldiers are really into the Ramones. It's one of those things where it could be a duck, or it could be a bunny, or it could be a duck, or it could be a bunny. But the first time I saw it, I saw Joey Ramone, and I was like, that's strange. So I wonder if they did that on purpose, or I wonder if that's like the actual shape of the landmass of Pangea the way it was 85 million years ago. I can kind of see North America in there somewhere, and parts of Africa maybe, so it could be right. Right, so they want soldiers. That's obvious. They want people to defend the new settlers against probably dinosaurs and whoever wants to put a stop to repopulating the Earth in the past, probably, right? Soldiers are important. They do grunt work. They protect people. They carry out agendas, you know. So you got doctors, you got farmers, soldiers, and college students with good grades.
I agree.
Okay, the next one is Day 27. They put up a second evaluation for Josh Shannon. So let's see how he's doing. Let's listen to Josh Shannon's second evaluation.
The thing I'm most excited about is being eaten. Sounds like an awesome way to die.
If you don't take these evaluations seriously, I can't approve you for transition.
Fine. The thing I'm most excited about is, when I was a kid, we went to the Natural History Museum, and I saw this skeleton of a T-Rex. It was like magic. It was like all the monsters you told yourself weren't real suddenly roared to life. So yeah, dinosaurs could be interesting.
Dinosaurs could be interesting. That's an interesting quote.
My favorite part of that was what he's most looking forward to is being eaten by dinosaurs. We don't have a line of the week yet, which is what we'll have when we have actual episodes to watch, like the best line of that episode, but I think so far the line of the Webisodes is, in my opinion anyway, is I'm most looking forward to getting eaten by dinosaurs.
Yeah, I concur. This lion, it shows, I don't know, he's kind of defeated in a way.
Now, watching that video, I see like mannerisms that are similar to Jim Shannon when he's in the prison cell. I can see a lot of similarities between the father and son. You know, they both kind of have the same attitude about the system, and just in general, I felt like they could be father and son. So, good casting, good acting, I think, in those. I definitely see a connection. I don't know if that was intentional or I'm reading into it, but I definitely see some there.
Day 28. Does your future lie in the past? Enter the Terra Nova lottery. Again, a very, very classy-looking poster, very enticing, kind of like something you would see for, you know, an advertisement of a beach, you know. No signs of dinosaurs in this one, though. You don't see any pterodactyls. It's just very clear sky and beautiful-looking, you know, kind of trees and forest.
Yeah. Kind of makes me want to go there.
I would totally somewhere in Terra Nova.
Doesn't look dangerous at all. I would be thinking free vacation, you know.
So what if I stepped through a wormhole and technically I died 85,040 years ago?
I don't know. Would you do it? I don't know.
I would.
All right. Yeah, it'd be fun. Something to do. Especially if I had to wear a rebreather my whole life.
Exactly.
That's the business to be in the future, the rebreather business. Overpopulation plus everybody needs one. There you go.
Yeah, they're right.
All right, they put out another Maddie Shannon evaluation. This is her third one.
They call them slashers because they have these talons that can cut through bone.
You're scared of the dinosaurs?
No. Why would I be? I'm sure they just want to cuddle them if they catch. Why couldn't the portal have gone to the Enlightenment? I really think I would have excelled in the 18th century.
Okay, that was different.
She's not really into going back that far in time. She wishes it was the wormhole went to another time. The Age of Enlightenment.
Yeah. Interesting mood shift in her. She's processing a lot, it seems.
Yeah, and we're watching her process. She starts off very happy, excited, and she's getting less and less enthusiastic as she goes. It's almost like stages of grief, you know, like denial, and then she might be in bargaining with, you know, wanting to go, but now wanting to be behind doors, and still maybe bargaining when she wants to go to a different time period. The Age of Enlightenment. Now, have you ever heard of the Age of Enlightenment?
I've heard of the Enlightenment of the Age.
I hadn't heard that before, even though I watch History Channel and all that stuff. I looked it up, and according to Wikipedia, the Age of Enlightenment was an elite cultural movement of intellectuals in the 18th century Europe that sought to mobilize the power of reason in order to reform society and advance knowledge. It promoted intellectual interchange and opposed intolerance and abuse in church and state. And it originated about 1650 to 1700. So basically it was people that were smart trying to use reason and think about things instead of just doing everything the way they were taught and told and just, perpetuating ridiculous things. Trying to just use logic. So maybe birth of Vulcan. I don't know. But it sounds interesting. I read more and more about it, and interesting the separation of church and state. So maybe the terrorists have something to do with some kind of religious group. She wishes she went back to where people were just starting to use reason to figure things out. Your take on that at all?
Well, here's my take. I agree.
I'm just picturing you putting your phone down and just walking around until I stop talking and then picking it up and going, I agree.
Yes, sir. Absolutely, sir. August 19th, 2149. Highly resistant flu devastates Asia. After weeks of rumors, Beijing finally admitted that a new flu strain had been identified. Numbers are hard to come by, but some put estimated deaths in the thousands and projected deaths in the hundreds of thousands. So, looks like Asia's no better off than New York or UK or anyone else.
Yeah, so basically the whole world's going to crap.
Yeah, I think that's what they should have called the show. The whole world's going to crap. It's fallen. Fuck.
Whole world's going to crap. Let's go back in time. Try again. Maybe it was too long to fit in guides for TiVo and cable boxes and stuff. All right, the next one, day 31. Synsilic. Ooh, you read that one because I can't pronounce that one.
I was saying, you're going to give it to me, aren't you?
Yes.
Synsilic fever can strike anyone. Have you completed your Terra Nova inoculation?
Huh. So, that's probably different
than the top of the poster.
There is a needle, so they don't have anything more advanced than needles in the future, so no hypo sprays. This fever probably different from the flu in Asia, and you need to get an inoculation from it. So, what if you don't get inoculated and people go back in time with it? Is that going to be an episode or something? People dying off from this synsilic fever, maybe?
I like the idea. It makes sense. I mean, these all have to play in somehow, and it can't all be in the past. It can't all be in the current. It's got to be in the past.
All right. Day 32, cholera. They put out a news feed. August 21st, 2149. Health Department denies cholera rumors. Anti-corruption websites allege that the government has been destroying bodies in a Miami slum to cover up a burgeoning cholera epidemic. It wouldn't be the first time FEMA's gone to such lengths, but officials are vigorously denying these claims. So FEMA is involved in a cover-up because people are dying en masse from cholera. My thought when I saw this was there's an overpopulation problem, so there's diseases everywhere. Is our local governments introducing diseases into their population to kill people off so the rest of the people can survive? Maybe that was one of the ideas they had to control the population before they discovered this wormhole, to put diseases out there to kill off maybe the undesirables, the poor, or people that weren't inoculated against certain diseases. Because cholera, that was my opinion. Maybe that was different governments' attempts, because it seems all over the world there seems to be a different outbreak of something or other killing people.
Now you could be completely right or completely wrong.
That's true. I could be. Or somewhere in the middle. No, not somewhere in the middle. Any thoughts on cholera?
No.
I don't even know what it is. I know it's not good for you. That's what I know. I know if I read it on
in my hamburger, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, if I read it in the ingredients list on a loaf of wheat bread, I probably wouldn't buy it.
Unless it was really cheap, you know.
Yeah, like I had a coupon. Then maybe some cholera wouldn't be so bad.
Yeah.
All right. So we're developing theories, which of course might be or probably are completely wrong, but it's our take on stuff. We have another video to listen to. This was released on day 33. It's Elizabeth Shannon, evaluation.
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Did you get the pamphlet about poisonous plants?
Yes. Yes, I did, thank you. Very informative.
Is something wrong?
I saw Jim today.
How is he?
He looked awful. Never seen him so...
Have you changed your mind about going to Terra Nova?
No, I won't watch my children die of pulmonoplasia or Gormans. I've seen too many children... Look, I love my husband, and it is tearing me apart to leave him, but I am a mother, and as a parent, you have to put your children first, right? Right? Sorry, I don't think I can...
Interesting. And a lot sticking, if you will. You know, she mentioned she still loves him, so there's not a complete rift between her and Jim. You know, I don't know. It doesn't sound like they're separated or divorced. They could be, but she still obviously has feelings for him. Too, I'm wondering what, you know, definitely these are good to spike the interest of what has Jim done? Do you have any ideas as to what maybe Jim's done? I know we've blurted out a couple.
I tried not to get spoiled too much, but I think that they had too many children.
You think there's a third child out there?
Yeah, I think they have a third child, and I think they kept it hid.
Why would he be in trouble and not her?
That's a good point. Maybe he had the child with a different woman.
Why would she still love him?
Man, why indeed? So I guess we'll just have to chalk that one up to an H2IK situation.
What's that? What's H2IK?
H2IK?
Yeah.
It was from an episode of Defying Gravity. It's code for Hell if I Know.
Ah, okay. I must have missed that episode.
Oh, it's pretty good. H2IK. Yep. Hell if I know. But that's my guess. I don't know if I made it up in my head, I dreamt about it, or I read it online somewhere. But that's a good point. Why would he be in trouble and not her? Or do they only take one parent away? Because if you took both parents away, then they'd have no parents.
I don't know. Well, they'd be an orphanage in the overpopulated city.
An orphanarium in New York or UK. Our next thing is on day 34, they released another poster with a similar theme.
For our future. For our country. For our children. A family is for. Once again, continuing with the for theme, you see the mom and dad holding up a big-ass for with their two kids. One of the kids looks like they have no arms, but, you know, that's besides the point.
So what are they trying to tell us here? Like, maybe a family's limited to 4? I'm just starting to get what they're trying to say.
Yeah, I got a feeling that Terra Nova doesn't want you to have more than 4. So, I mean, I could see your theory coming true. Like, maybe he had a past, you know, marriage and a kid, or, you know, he just got found out. I don't know. But they really are stressing this family is 4 thing, so it's definitely got to be a big element at some point.
And I liked a little play on words, the number 4 for the word for,
yeah.
For our future, for our country, for our children. Yeah. Interesting ad campaign. I'm starting to buy into it. I don't think I'm going to have more than 2 kids myself, if I ever do, because the family is 4.
Are you going to thank Terra Nova? Be like, thank you, Terra Nova, for not making me not have more than 2 kids.
If the wife wants to have more than 2 kids, I'll be like, you remember what they said on Terra Nova, family is 4. So maybe that's just a good
I want to have 3 now just to be a rebel.
And you might end up in jail with Jim Shannon.
Yeah, well then I'll end up skipping through the wormhole and being the star of the show.
And we have one more to go. The 35th one they put out. It's another little news announcement. Go for it, Jordan.
August 24th, 2149. Italy offers sterility stimulus. The Italian government has implemented a program rewarding families who opt to remain childless. Proposed incentives include government-backed housing upgrades, promotions in the workplace, and monthly stipends.
So are they sterilizing people? Or if you don't have children, you get rewarded? I would say they'd probably have to sterilize them, because if they gave them certain perks or whatever, and then they had kids, then they'd have to take them away, and it'd be just a big mess. So it seems like every area of the world is trying to do something to quell overpopulation. Basically, the world is overpopulated, is what I've learned so far from these. From what I've heard online, the future part of the first episodes, Genesis Part 1 and 2, that air on September 26th at 8 p.m. on Fox. What I understand, the future part is very short, and they get into the past rather quickly. So maybe this is really good stuff that they're putting out there, so we learn more about the future part because they don't really focus a lot on it on the TV show. This will help us understand maybe characters' motivations and different reasons they're there and why they are who they are. But I'm sure it's not necessary to know this stuff before watching the show, but everybody who listened up until this point, they know all of that. So we have a little advantage on the rest of the people, on the rest of everybody, on everybody else. So what was your overall thought of the whole webisode thing that they're doing so far?
Our webisode journey has taught us a lot of things. It's taught us that being by dinosaurs is pretty cool. It's taught us that a family is four, and most importantly, it's taught us that Italy doesn't want you to have kids. And it's been a fun journey. No, I mean, you've learned more about the characters. A lot of intrigue, a lot of good guesses by you, a lot of I have no freaking clue by me. I think, if you're interested in this show and you haven't checked out these videos, check them out. Check out at least, the Jason Amar ones, look at the posters, well, check them all out, really, because they do add to the show and the intrigue of what's going on in this, universe.
And Joey Ramone. That was, quite a bit to get through, but we got through it. I enjoyed talking to you about that. Right now we're going to switch gears a little bit and go to TC's report on dinosaurs in the Cretaceous period. And here's TC with that report.
Science.
Thanks, Albie. This segment of the podcast will discuss some background information pertaining to what it may be like to live in Fox's new television series, Terra Nova. Many may already know that the time period in which Terra Nova takes place is approximately 85 million years ago, during the Cretaceous period. This period is part of the Mesozoic era, better known as the Age of Reptiles. Do you recall that reptiles are cold-blooded? If not, let me refresh your memory. It means that they are not able to regulate or control their body temperature. So, knowing that, you should then know what the setting will be like. If you were thinking that the climate were warm and humid, which would be favorable to the formation of a rainforest, you would be absolutely correct. Fossils prove the existence of some dinosaurs that strictly ate plants and stayed in herds, much like sheep or goats. These dinosaurs are called herbivores, or plant eaters, because they only eat plants and their teeth were designed for chewing. Plant fossils also tell us that the forests cover the majority of the land. These forests have had more needle-bearing, coniferous, or cone-bearing trees, like the ancient pines and spruces, as well as huge ferns. Primitive fan shade trees like ginkgos were also evolving into the trees we see today. These trees successfully grew into deciduous trees, or trees with leaves, as well as fruit-bearing trees. Oh, and we can't leave out the lichen. Lichen are complex plant-like organisms made up of an algae and a fungus growing in a symbiotic relationship on a solid surface, such as a rock. In this case, a symbiotic relationship means that both the algae and fungus benefit from each other in some way. You may have already seen this organism on one of your outdoor adventures, and the next time you come across it, you'll probably figure out what it is you are looking at. Not only do we have the herbivores, but we also find carnivores. Carnivorous, or meat-eating dinosaurs, have teeth that differ greatly from the herbivores. Some teeth are sharp, and some are saw-like. This is so they can hold on to and tear the meat off of their prey. Carnivores are predators. They are most comfortable hunting alone, but have been known to hunt in packs. Aside from the dinosaurs, there are also other animals present. At the end of the Mesozoic era, we find birds, small mammals, and marsupials beginning to evolve or change. By the way, marsupials are mammals that raise their young in pouches. The small mammals are the tunnel diggers and nibblers, resembling shrews, rats, and possums, though they don't get any larger than a big cat. That's as large as the animals grew at this age and time. You may find it interesting that there are no birds during this era. Scientists currently believe that birds evolved from the descendants of dinosaurs. They also now know that many dinosaurs, such as raptors, were feathered. Many scientists also believe that birds evolved directly from a type of dinosaur. So the next time you see a bird, you are most likely looking at a dinosaur. Since the reptiles continued their dominance, mammals and birds remained low-key throughout the Cretaceous. If you were a small mammal or bird, wouldn't you? Oh yes, I can't forget to mention the reptiles that live in the water and the insects. I don't know about you, but I could very easily forget about insects. But first, I'll give you a brief explanation of some of the reptiles living in the water. Water reptiles include, but are not limited to, very large crocodiles, like they weren't large enough to begin with. And there are turtles that are several meters across. That is quite massive. Also quite massive were the sharks and toothed whales. The fish, squid, octopi, and oysters got to huge proportions. Even the clams spanned 4 feet across. And that is common during this time. Amphibians are represented only by existing groups such as frogs and salamanders. Lizards become common, including the giant aquatic predatory mosasaurs. Of course, those aren't the only things living in the ocean at this time. Oh, and just a side note, practically every day scientists discover a new water species. Leading into the discussion of the insects, we should go back to the flora of the Cretaceous period. Flowering plants are evolving and flourishing, which indicate the presence of bees. The flowers and bees also have a symbiotic relationship. All right, here is where I mention those things that make up my phobia. I guess you could say I am an insecto-entomophobic. The latter are the flying insects. Oh, and by the way, phobias about insects are among the most common of all. Other than bees, we will likely find bugs and insects in and around the compound, some of which may be awfully startling, to put it mildly. We may also see gigantic dragonflies, huge beetles, large spiders, big centipedes, and millipedes. Since these bugs are a great source of protein, we can be pretty sure we will see these being sold as a common staple of food in the marketplace. So, there we have it. I hope that while watching the show, you now have a better understanding of the time, place, and setting of the various things we may see in Fox's Terra Nova. I hope you are as curious as I am to find out how much I have explained here is used to tell the story of where the Shannon family will be living and how they will need to adapt to their new environment. Tune in next time, where I will discuss some of the dinosaurs known to be seen in this extraordinary 2-hour premiere episode. This is TC reporting for the Terra Nova podcast. Back to you, Albie.
Thank you, TC, for that. That was really good. Much appreciated. Looking forward to more segments as we go along. She's our newest crew member, TC. I want to mention again how the ratings work. If you haven't heard our first two podcasts, this will be new to you. We want to keep the ratings up for Terra Nova. So what we got to do is try to watch the show live. If you're DVRing it or TiVoing it, watch the show within 24 hours and watch it again within 3 days. Repeated viewings do count. Multiple viewings are important because that adds to the numbers. If you happen to be a Nielsen family, remember to count everybody in the house that's watching the show. And if they're not watching the show, why not? Make them watch the show. They'll enjoy it. Hold them down if you have to. We want to welcome some new listeners. We got new listeners from New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Costa Rica, Honolulu, and Australia. So welcome.
Are we global?
We're going global, man. We're going to start having to do this in different languages. I know several, but...
That's right. See.
Now, we're going to play some audio clips. Like there wasn't enough so far, but we got a couple good ones. Adweek did a behind-the-scenes interview with executive producers Renee Echeverria and Brandon Braga.
Terra Nova is a unique family adventure spanning two different periods of time, the distant future and the distant past. And it's about a future that's dying, or most of the animal life is extinct, humanity's on the brink, and they've discovered a way to travel 85 million years in the past to send a handful of people to restart humanity, giving us a second chance, not just to colonize Earth, but to get it right this time and leave behind the kind of foibles that got us in trouble in the first place. And it follows one particular family, the Shannon family, and they're our point of view. The show came about as a script that was written by Craig Silverstein and Kelly Marcel. And that script was Fox Network wanted to do, and Spielberg got involved, and Peter Chernin got involved. And it was just a concept that immediately people responded to. And the original writers couldn't do it. They had other obligations. So we were brought in to develop the script into a 2-hour, and it was a 1-hour at first, and get the whole giant enterprise running.
Spielberg's other project, Falling Skies, is, I think, a little more directly a post-apocalyptic scenario. Terra Nova, while it starts there in the future, it quickly becomes about this new beginning, this new hope for mankind, and we end up in the primordial past, which is gorgeous and sumptuous, and it's about this frontier town. So while it has some of those apocalyptic elements, it's a more optimistic take, I guess you could say.
It seems we're hoping the Western zeitgeist is in the air, because it's a postmodern frontier town. It's a sci-fi Western. It follows this family and the people who live in the town. And as Renee says, it is kind of optimistic. There's a little dose of Star Trek in this, because it's a very humanistic show. Can we do it better? Can we build a better future? And of course, that isn't exactly easy, and some things follow you back that you wish didn't follow you back, and that's really what the philosophical crux of the show is. The analogy that I've been using is creating a show is like giving birth to a baby. There are labor pains. This was just a huge baby. There were no, there was one staff change that was made. Writers were essentially laid off or moved on to other things because we were delaying production, but for legitimate reasons. Weather, we didn't have the cast together yet, and but it was nothing that was cataclysmic. It wasn't a feeling of, oh my God, this is falling apart. We were just getting it right.
This is, in terms of scope and ambitions, this is as big a project as I've ever worked on. Certainly, Brandon.
Really?
That was interesting. We learned a little bit more about that. We have an essay contest going on at theterranovapodcast.com. You can win Life on Mars, the complete series on DVD, by writing a simple essay and submitting it to us via our email. The topic is what I'm most looking forward to about Terra Nova. We didn't get any submissions yet. We're hoping for at least one. Right now, if we get one, you automatically won, so your chances are pretty good. I don't know if the word essay scared some people away. Might scare me away. It just has to be a little short story, a little couple paragraphs or a whole long article about what you're most looking forward to about Terra Nova. So let's play that promo right now. Do you want a chance to win Life on Mars, the U.S. version, the complete series on DVD, starring Terra Nova's Jason O'Mara?
Sam Tyler.
You the warrant? Judge Gaston out of bed this morning.
Was a homicide detective.
Ready, Glamps? Ready.
On the verge of solving
Back door!
Suspect is gone out the back.
the biggest case of his career.
Hold it!
On range. We're under arrest, abduction and murder. Lori Stewart.
Until everything changed.
Go for Tyler. All units.
In the blink of an eye, his whole world rewound to 1973. And he has no idea why.
I need my cell.
You need to sell what?
He's the same cop.
You the transfer from Hyde? What the hell's going on?
The same beat.
My desk. My computer. Like 2001, A Space Odyssey.
Looks like we got us a regular spaceman.
Don't ever walk into my kingdom acting the king of the jungle.
He's just 35 years early.
I was in an accident and I woke up in 1973. That either makes me a time traveler, a lunatic, or I'm lying in a hospital bed in 2008. And none of this is real.
Based on the international hit series.
I need to follow the Elvic Road.
What are you going to find?
Hopefully, the end of the Elvic Road.
Harvey Keitel.
It's 1973. As our Chinese brethren call it, with a fist.
Michael Imperioli.
Really are some kind of lunatic, Tyler. Just might make you a pretty good fit with us.
Gretchen Mall.
You feel it? If I were a figment of your imagination, I would probably let your hand linger on my chest. However...
Jonathan Murphy.
File room. It's where we keep the files. Man, what I wouldn't give for some internet access.
And Jason O'Mara.
Wait, do we have a warrant?
Here's your warrant.
Perfect.
Here's what you need to get smart on quick. I never give up, and I always go for the max. When my time is done, they will say, he has been here. Of this I am sure.
Win Life on Mars U.S., the complete series on DVD, starring Terra Nova's Jason O'Mara. Please submit an essay on the topic of what I'm most looking forward to about Terra Nova. We will try to read most of them on the show. Essay length is up to you, just make it interesting and show-worthy. All essays will be read and judged by our crew, and there will be one prize given to the author that we think has the most interesting essay. Judges' decisions are final. All essays must be submitted by August 26, 2011 to qualify for the contest. Send all essays to terranovapodcast@gmail.com. Please include a mailing address for shipping of the prize. Have fun with this, and thank you for being part of the Terra Nova podcast community. So that's how you win Life on Mars on DVD. Just send us an essay and we'll put it on the show.
Alright guys, here comes one of my favorite segments. Everyone, let's take the Heather with the news.
News.
I'm Heather with the Terra Nova News. LiveTerraNova.com has created a viral campaign to add to the anticipation of the show's upcoming premiere. On the interactive site, you can enter the lottery to join the 11th pilgrimage, which is presumably the colony that comes after the show's 10th pilgrimage. There are several different nodes to choose from, and it all connects through Facebook. The first node is an evaluation test that uses your friend list on Facebook to see who your group would be and what position fits you best. Security detail for me. After your test is completed, it will show you your group and let you design your group symbol. There are more tests to come, including endurance, recall, and dexterity. The site also provides you with news headlines under the Top Stories node, as well as an advertisement for ReBreatheX, a company that makes breathing masks to counteract the poor air quality of 2149. Other features include your city's weather, a video called The New Dawn of Man, which you can hear a clip from later on in the show, and a countdown to the premiere. Go check it out and see if you'd make it. Jose Molina, producer of Terra Nova, recently tweeted, "Getting ready to film the climactic sequence of my first episode of Terra Nova, entitled Verses." The episode he was referring to is episode 9 and was formerly titled Mano y Mano, or Hand to Hand translated. The current TV Guide magazine, which hit shelves August 25th, features Jason O'Mara on the cover and a 4-page spread on the show. In this issue, TV Guide describes an episode that pays homage to Hitchcock's The Birds. The colony is encircled by scores of pterosaurs, nasty winged beasts the size of large crows. Don't forget to pick up your copy. Terra Nova begins on September 26 on Fox in the US and will debut on Sky One in the UK this autumn. That's all for this time. Check out TerraNovaPodcast.com for more. And remember, a family is 4.
All right, thanks, Heather.
Yeah, that was good. That was good, up-to-date stuff. Some of that I didn't even know about. And I'm trying to find out everything about everything, but she's a good researcher on the news.
Yeah, man. Is she single?
You know, I've been meaning to ask her. She's quite a good-looking lady from the pictures I've seen, so, you know, I don't know. I might ask her why. You want dibs? I think I'll take dibs.
You got dibs? All right, I respect dibs, man. Good luck.
All right, I got dibs on the news lady. What if she hears this? Oh, no. A little bit nervous. Now, it was mentioned in our news segment, but have you played the LiveTerraNova.com game yet?
Nope.
I did for the first time last night. It's you go to either LiveTerraNova.com or LiveTerraNova.com, and you let it load. It's like 20 megabytes, I think, the website. And it's a huge just flash environment where you're playing different games. You connect through Facebook, and you pick different Facebook friends that you want to take on an adventure with you. Then you go through some kind of quiz, and it picks your team. You can only take 3 people with you, but the quiz tells you which ones you're taking with you and which ones you're not. Unfortunately, you're not going with me back to Terra Nova. I did put you up for the running, but it didn't pick you. And I couldn't go any further, because the rest of it's not up yet, but it seems pretty fun. Are you there right now?
I was looking at it, yeah.
There is hope. We can build a better tomorrow. Terra Nova is our future. The 11th Pilgrimage Lottery is your way there. If selected, you will embark on an unparalleled adventure that will determine the future of the human race. Join the lottery. Join Commander Taylor. Join the new dawn of man. Begin your evaluation today.
It's pretty cool. It's noisy, but it's pretty cool. It's something to check out. I don't know how much further it's going to go, but I'm trying to keep up with it. We'll see what little things we can glean from maybe the game. They might tell us a little bit of something.
Oh, I'm sorry, what was the question?
Question of the week.
Question of the week for episode 2 was, what do you think of the prequel episodes? So basically what we were talking about, we got one response, and that was from Johnny Jr., a second-time caller. We'll go to Johnny Jr.'s question of the week response.
This is Johnny Jr., and I'm with my bear, Brooklyn. Seems like in every story there's going to be an adventure. I know I'd be scared to death on a journey as incredible as Terra Nova, but to actually be in a time period with dinosaurs gives me goosebumps just thinking about it. Oh, and how cute is Maddie? Wow. And Josh, he's funny. Most looks forward to being eaten. Well, he's right about one thing. I too myself have seen an actual T-Rex skeleton as a child in the Boston Museum of Science. Literally takes your breath away. Anyway, We're signing out for now, and I look forward to seeing you all again in the future. Or in the past. Boop.
He really did watch all the videos and have an opinion, so that was interesting. I like how he talked about the going to see dinosaurs at the Boston Museum of Science when he was a young kid. That's got to have a lasting impression on you when you see something that huge. Thanks again, Johnny Jr. If you want to answer our question of the week, go to terranovapodcast.com, check out the question of the week. And that section, we list all our questions of the week from the beginning of the show, and the questions do not expire. So if you don't feel like answering this week's question of the week, you can answer older questions of the week. And answer the question of the week either by email, sending us an MP3 file, or calling our voicemail line, which is 707-847-NOVA. So leave your answer to the question of the week on there. Also, you can leave your answer to the question of the week on our forums, and we'll see that, and we'll put that in the show. Next week's question of the week is, what do you think of the law a family is for? Do you think population control is a good thing or a bad thing? A family is for. What do you think of a family is for? So, again, send emails, MP3s, voicemails. We're going to get out of here, and on our way out, we're playing the newest trailer for Terra Nova. Hope you enjoy it.
Just as we have come back to remake this world, we must let this world remake us. We have been entrusted with the second chance. If we cannot dare to live lives that are worthy of this remarkable place, we should have just stayed in the future to perish with the planet. Terra Nova will succeed.
Terra Nova launches Monday, September 26th on Fox.
To get in contact with us, you can send email to terranovapodcast@gmail.com, and it might get read on the show. We prefer to hear your voice, so if possible, please record an MP3 and send it to us. If you don't have access to a microphone, or would just prefer to leave us a voicemail, you can do so by calling 707-847-NOVA. That's 707-847-6682. If you make a mistake, just keep going, and we'll edit them out before they air.
All right, so this has been Al.
And this has been Jordan. Thank you for listening. I love you.
Thank you for joining us for this installment of the Terra Nova podcast. Go to terranovapodcast.com each week to listen to new installments of the Terra Nova podcast. The Terra Nova podcast is not affiliated with 20th Century Fox Television, Churn and Entertainment, DreamWorks Television, and Capitol Entertainment. While at terranovapodcast.com, be sure to join our forums where you can discuss Terra Nova with other listeners. You can also follow the Terra Nova podcast on Facebook and Twitter, where we post announcements about our show and all things Terra Nova. Links to our social media pages are at terranovapodcast.com. Support from listeners like you help keep the Terra Nova podcast operating. You can find a link to donate using PayPal at the bottom of our website. You can also show your love of the Terra Nova podcast by shopping in our store, where you can buy t-shirts, coffee mugs, mouse pads, and much more. The link is available on our homepage. The Terra Nova podcast is edited by Albie. The Terra Nova universe and all that it contains is property of 20th Century Fox Television, Churn and Entertainment, DreamWorks Television, and Capitol Entertainment. No infringement is intended. The Terra Nova podcast is a Barren Space production, all rights reserved.
Hundreds took to the street today to protest. Travelers on the 10th pilgrimage announced.
Many have decreed, in the event of a terrorist attack, exit Hope Plaza in an orderly fashion. Soldiers will be there to facilitate.
Right, stays calm and just exits in an orderly fashion because terrorists are like, blah, 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 blah. The Television Critics Association, there was a Adweek did a interview with the Television Critics Association did with executive producers with the executive producers of Terra Nova, and here it is. Jason Amar's last...
The current TV Guide magazine, which hit in the issue... I don't like this one. That plays homage to it...